I tell you what, heading into this week's AEW Dynamite, you're looking at the card, you're looking at the matches on offer, and you're thinking to yourself, well, next week's massive show where Shaq is going to be doing the wrestling, Paul White will be there in person, I do believe, as well. You're thinking this episode last night, it might have been a bit of a sleeper episode. But then the likes of Nyla Rose and Britt Baker and Lance Archer and Rey Fenix himself all said, hold my beer, Ross. Archer and Fenix especially tore the bloody hoose doon, as we would say up here in Newcastle upon Tyne, doing many spots involved in that match that would normally be WTF Moments. But since Lance Archer was doing them and Rey Fenix was doing them, and they do it all the time, they can't be WTF Moments. That's just what they do. A good episode of Dynamite last night. And I tell you what, we'll make a little honorary WTF moment, and that was the fact that Britt Baker didn't win her match. I thought she was a shoo-in to win that entire tournament and take the title off Hikaru Shida, but it looks like it can't happen now, can it? WTF in my opinion. And yes, you might have realised I'm wearing a hat on top of my head, and to be honest with you, I've got no idea what to do with me hair, so this is the only thing I can think of. I know I look like a twat. But it is Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time to go through all of the AEWTF moments from last night's AEW Dynamite. Intro man, hit the intro. And that down there in the bottom corner, it still does not look right, does it? The Big Show. We all know the Big Show, don't we? First name The, middle name Big, surname Show. That's how it works, isn't it, Vince McMahon? Yes, it is. He couldn't be more WWE if he tried, but here he is now in 2021 in AEW. 8,051 days after he signed his first WWE contract, the Big Show has up sticks, said, up yours, Vince McMahon. I want more money. I'm going to AEW. It's a proper statement signing, like when Patrick Vieira joined Manchester City. He's not going to make a massive difference to your team here and now today after being a long time ago. You sign him for pure name value alone, plus all the influence he have on things behind the scenes in terms of adverts and all that stuff. He's the Big Show. He's a big name. And to be honest with everybody, I literally couldn't give a toss when it comes to seeing the Big Show doing the wrestling inside of an AEW ring. Quite frankly, I have seen all I want to see from the Big Show over the past 25 years and a little bit more. But say what you want to say, the Big Show is one of the biggest names in professional wrestling over the past, well, this century really, isn't it? It adds legitimacy to the brand of AEW. People see the Big Show, they think, wow, it's the Big Show. He's in AEW. They are to be taken seriously. But also a massive question when it comes to the Big Show was answered right at the start of last night's show. The once largest athlete in the world, the Big Show, will now be known as Paul White. What was it again? I've bloody forgotten. Where is it? It's on this bit of paper somewhere. The largest man in pro wrestling. And then he starts speaking about if it all comes to an end in that exploding barbed wire death match against Kenny Omega at Revolution next weekend. What a perfect way that would be to go out, says Jon Moxley about that match. Now you will have to let me know what you believe down below in the comments right down there, because to be honest with you, you know more about professional wrestling than this twat does right here. In those two quotes there is Jon Moxley just hyping up this match by teasing actual potential death, or is he maybe hinting at his time at AEW coming to an end? Woo! I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a massive hack on the interweb who knows nothing about professional wrestling. Maybe I'm looking for something that just isn't there when it comes to those quotes there from Jon Moxley on last night's Dynamite. I read the wrestling news on the internet in regards to Jon Moxley's AEW contract. The wrestling news on the internet is always true, of course. Apparently he signed a 3-year deal with the company with a 1-year break clause kind of thing. That 1-year break clause is passed. He's got 1 more year to go after this. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. I'll just move on. So then we see Darby Allin, who of course a little while ago was put inside of a body bag and dragged by a locomotive engine. It was just a car, wasn't it, Ross? It was just a car. He was dragged along the road to be punished by Team Taz, but because he's an awful kinky bastard who loves kinky things, Darby Allin said, hey, That punishment was quite invigorating, really. I'll get my friend Sting, who definitely was Sting and not just a random man wearing Sting gloves, to drive a car just like Team Taz was and drag me along A sandy road? A cobbly road? Asphalt? Well, let me know what the surface was down in the comments below. Because when it comes to punishment, I find all of the pleasure in there. I'm Darby Allin, and I'm a kinky bastard. And then Sting appears on AEW Dynamite just after we see Darby Allin being a kinky bastard with a body bag, and you're thinking, wow, Darby Allin's in there, Sting and Darby Allin. They are friends who do weird things in their spare time. They smash windows and they pull each other off. No, they pull each other along a road in a body bag. But then no, Sting has got Taz's son Hook in that body bag. And then he points to the sky and Darby Allin flies in via zip wire and starts twatting people upside the head with a skateboard. That is a sequence of events which is WTF moment worthy. Just imagine not being a fan of AEW, not knowing the storyline when it comes to Team Taz and Sting and Darby Allin, and just watching those things happen as they did just like that on last night's Dynamite. Imagine what you would be thinking. Professional wrestling, and that segment in particular is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And talk about things you did not expect to see. I mean, personally, I laughed when I saw that on last night's Dynamite because I find the Young Bucks to be awful human beings, not likable in the slightest. Whoa, look at our big muscles and all of our money. Shove it up your arse, man, will you, lads? I was quite frankly ruffling, lolling, lamowing, all of those. I pissed myself as well, all down me legs, when I saw Papa Buck bleeding his own actual blood and seeing the visual of his own blood being smeared on his son's faces. My God, I loved it. But still, tell me you were expecting to see that before last night's Dynamite took to the air, and I'll tell you, you're a massive liar. It's a WTF moment, so it is. And a shout out to the special jog the Young Bucks did to the back. No, Dad, don't worry, we'll come and save you. Fantastic, proper 80s professional wrestling angle. Things that aren't done enough in the modern day. It was fantastic, I thought. MJF, gimmick infringement, Kane would like words. And let me tell you, dear viewer, gimmick infringement Kane was on the brink of having a go at Jon Moxley until Jon Moxley clarified that his addiction is performing the performing art that is professional wrestling and not the AEW World Championship, much like Stone Cold Steve Austin's drug of choice was the WWF title back in the day. My way or the highway. But after being cooked by Jon Moxley clarifying he didn't mean what it looked like he could have meant if he didn't clarify what he actually meant, gimmick infringement Kane is here to tell MJF, Jinder Mahal, you didn't hinder the Jinder.
It's Jim Ross, bitch.
Bah, Gouda did it again. So we see a promo package hyping up Shaq and Jay taking on Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes on next week's Dynamite, and Jim Ross says the following, and I think at the end of the day, Shaq and Jade win. Now, as we all know, opinions, they are like arseholes. Everybody has one. But I'm making this mere opinion from Jim Ross. Yes, I concede it's just an opinion. I can't call him wrong, can I? But I'm making this a WTF moment because we all know that Jim Ross, when it comes to professional wrestling, is a proper traditionalist. Traditionalist. There we go, nailed it second time. Not to mention the fact that Jim Ross sees the modern day things the modern day professional wrestlers do on AEW Dynamite, and you can hear him just rolling his eyes, rolling them hard. But this old school guy appeared on last night's Dynamite to predict the celebrity defeating the professional wrestler, predicting the much less experienced professional wrestler to defeat a much more experienced professional wrestler. I'm just telling you, I just didn't expect to hear it, by God. Now, first and foremost, I need to make it very clear right here on WTF Moments, Alex Marvez is quickly becoming my favourite part of AEW. There is nothing that will get in the way of Alex Marvez reaching the story in the pursuit of integrity and journalism. You just got to ask yourself, how does he know where Kenny Omega is at all times? It's a bit creepy. But secondly, another WTF moment has to be the fact that Kenny Omega is still wearing Kenny Omega clothes while doing some welding. Out with the cleaner, in with the welder. And in the words of Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, where the f*** is Vicky? Like, seriously, that pair of Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose had so much potential at doing really funny, heelish things, yet they've done nothing with them. Where is Vicky? She might have said on that unrestricted podcast, but I haven't listened to it yet. So if she did, I'm sorry, but where the f*** is Vicky? And I guess we could end these WTF moments potentially making Rey Fenix not winning that match against Archer a WTF moment, because surely that ladder match would have been so much better. Would it have been? Because Lance Archer's fantastic as well. That's why I'm conflicted. It could have been better if Fenix was involved. Who knows? They might get him in there anyway. It certainly wouldn't piss me off at all. I would like it, actually, yeah. But hey, maybe I'm clutching at one too many straws. I do believe that might just be it for all of the AEWTF moments from last night's Dynamite. If I missed any, which is entirely possible this week, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic Wrestling. Rest in power, Josephus. What a bloody shame that is, eh? Heartbreaking stuff, but hey, I'll see you next time on these WTF moments. Hope you keep well.